I would like to tell you how can you make more money by understanding your customers on a way deeper level and giving them just what they want. To get started, we need to understand what kind of data you can gather in the digital sphere. So here it is. The user information can either be anonymous or identified. That's our first column. The second column is where the data is coming from. When you gather anonymous data, usually it comes from site activity. This is what analytics tools, recommendation engines do. Basically, anything that happens on your site, they can track, but without knowing that who that specific person is. So you can tell that, for example, 20% of your visitors first look at your slider, then make 2 clicks. They spend an average time on your site of 2.5 minutes, and then they end up putting something to your cart, but then they leave your cart and there is your churn. And this is based on site activity and it's anonymous. There are amazing systems that can predict what you will buy and when you will buy that. Just based on anonymous data, they can focus on 100% of the visitors and provide them a recommendation of personalization based on site activity without knowing that who they are exactly. On the other hand, there are systems that identify the users and you can gather this data from many places. For example, when someone purchases something and they register to your site, you will know their contact information and of course you will know what they have purchased. But there is another level of the data source and that is the digital footprint. And when you look at this type of data chart table here, you have to distinguish what the user information is, which part it is anonymous and which is identified, what you gather from your site and outside of your site. So basically we know 2 levels of data. This is pretty common among content providers, brands, online retailers, publishers. We know if there is any kind of purchase, we know what they have purchased. The second thing is, as we talked about it before, we know what they are doing on the site, which is the hot area of it. If you use a heat map, where they leave your site, what are the cold areas, you can get really good ideas what you need to change on the site. So, a purchase is easy to measure and understand. It shows us how many products, which products were sold last month, or how many subscribers you have. The site activity is also pretty self-explanatory. Shows you how many visitors you have, how much time they spend on your site, how many products they looked at, and Google Analytics and other analytic tools are perfect for that. So thanks to remarketing, these 2 metrics are tightly bounded together and you can make them come back, you can lower your cost of reach and get new audiences. But we know these numbers, but what we don't understand is the whys. Why does someone leave your site? Why someone purchases the specific product? And this is the identified layer. This is the digital footprint of the user. As you see, as the diver behind on our screen, there is a third level that can tell us the whys. So let's say one of your customers just bought a GoPro on your web shop. You know how much time they spent on the site, how many visits they had, how long it took them to make the purchase, what the basket size is, and so on. But you don't know the why. Did they buy it because they are professional extreme sport athletes, or because they just want a small camera to be able to carry all around all day long and they just go to a family vacation? Using the third level of data, the social layer, which can be reached via single sign-ons like Facebook login, LinkedIn Connect, and things like that. With the implementation of this social layer, we can answer the whys. Knowing the whys will help you make more sales and find similar buyer personas to your customers. To sum it up, what we need to understand here is that there is no right or wrong with data and there is just enough data that we can gather. if we can use the three levels of this data, purchase history, on-site activity, and the social digital footprint of the user, and we can combine them together and use all these information sources to provide a better experience, to personalize the website, to recommend products and articles, to do better retargeting with our target group. What we can get to is increase our ROI, lower our cost, and get better satisfied and loyal customers while we can make more money.